welcome to this episode of the Cover Your Assets podcast. This is your host, Billy Gwaltney. As always, I'm excited to be with you today. Today, I'm going to tackle the question from physicians that we work with that occasionally comes up during the medical screening, which is, why do I need to sign a HIPAA authorization and an HIV consent form? In working with thousands of physicians across the country, helping them purchase their private specialty discounted on occupation disability coverage. Streamlined medical screening is required for this coverage up front. Part of the application is 20 or 25 medical questions they go through, talking about past surgeries or conditions or treatments, medications, that kind of thing. And part of the application is signing a HIPAA authorization, which would allow underwriters to request medical records if needed to verify information on the medical questionnaire. So you provide the names and contact information for your physicians that are treating you for or have treated you in the past. And if an underwriter needs to verify some of the details of that, just dot the I's and cross the T's, then they can request those records directly. They include with that a HIPAA authorization that you sign as part of the application. It also gives the insurance company the right, or the opportunity, I should say, to review you from a medical evaluation standpoint for disability coverage. So the HIPAA authorizes that. You're consenting to that. Occasionally, providers will have additional HIPAA releases that they will require, like their own form, which we get to people. Usually you can sign those electronically. Sometimes they'll need a wet signature, usually not, but sometimes they do. But this HIPAA authorization, for the vast majority of situations, suffices as your release to allow the underwriter to receive those records. The HIV consent form is interesting because the insurance physical, which used to be required, where they would do a lab draw, take a blood sample, urine sample, and measurements, height, weight, that kind of thing. The HIV consent was required because it was part of the testing, the lab test for the insurance physical. But for trainees who are purchasing their coverage, they waive the insurance physical, so you don't have to do labs, at least as of the time of this recording, which is spring of 2023. And it's been this way for quite a while. No expectation that it'll change sooner. If it does, I'll update the podcast. But the HIV consent form is still required, primarily in case they did need to request labs. They do reserve the right to ask for labs if there's some reason. That very rarely happens. I can think of less than a handful of times in the last decade where that's been needed. And of course, you would know that up front if they did need to get get labs done for just to verify some readings that maybe showed up in prior medical records. But that HIV would be on file and is still a required part of the application. Unfortunately, if the HIPAA is not signed or the HIV consent is not signed, then the application can't be submitted and coverage can't be obtained. And that's true with all four of the top companies, and likely to remain so for the foreseeable future. It's kept on file just for those reasons. We've not had it be an issue in the past. Hope you found this helpful. Just wanted to address this question that occasionally comes up. Feel free to also check out my book, Amazon #1 bestseller. I'm excited to say it's called Disability Insurance for Physicians. You can get it on Amazon. It's an ebook, audiobook to come soon. And feel free to contact me directly with any questions, 704-270-2376. Again, it's Billy Gwaltney, 704-270-2376. Grateful as always for your time. See you soon.